Did you know that nearly 60% of poultry farms fail within their first few years? But the good news is, most of these failures are completely avoidable. In this video, I'll take you through the most common mistakes responsible for the failure of most poultry farms and how you can solve them. So stay tuned until the end. When starting any business, having a clear plan and well-defined goals is the foundation for success. Poultry farming is no exception. Yet, one of the most common mistakes beginner poultry farmers make is jumping into the venture without a proper plan or set objectives. Why does this happen? For many, the excitement of starting a poultry business combined with the perceived simplicity of raising chickens leads them to overlook the critical step of planning. They believe that buying some chicks, feeding them, and selling eggs or meat will naturally lead to profits. However, farming is far more complex. Without a clear plan, challenges can quickly arise, often leading to frustration and financial losses. Let's consider some of the consequences of operating without a plan. Firstly, there's the issue of financial mismanagement. Without a budget, a farmer may underestimate the costs involved, such as housing, feed, vaccines, or labor. This can result in running out of money halfway through the production cycle, leaving the business in jeopardy. Secondly, a lack of specific goals leads to inefficiency. A farmer might not decide whether they want to focus on egg production, meat production, or breeding. Instead, they try to do a little of everything, which dilutes their efforts and yields poor results. Then there's the matter of marketing. A farmer who starts without identifying their target market may end up with a surplus of unsold eggs or chickens. Without established buyers or distribution channels, they might sell at a loss or rely on middlemen who take a large share of the profits. Now, how do we solve this problem? The answer is simple: plan. A well thought out plan ensures clarity, direction, and preparedness. Start by setting clear, specific goals. Decide whether your primary focus is layers for eggs, broilers for meat, or breeding stock. Choose a niche and specialize in it rather than spreading yourself too thin. Next, create a budget. List all the costs involved in starting and running your poultry farm. Include housing, feed, medications, labor, and any other expenses. Don't forget to set aside funds for unforeseen emergencies, such as disease outbreaks or equipment failure. Research is also critical. Understand the breed of chickens you want to raise and their requirements. Study market demands in your area to ensure you're producing what people need. Building relationships with buyers, such as restaurants, wholesalers, or retailers, before you start production will give you confidence that your product has a market. Planning also involves risk management. Farming is unpredictable, and challenges like price fluctuations or disease outbreaks are inevitable. A good plan includes strategies to handle these situations, such as maintaining savings for emergencies or investing in proper biosecurity measures. Starting a poultry farm without a clear plan is like trying to navigate unfamiliar terrain without a map. It leads to confusion, mistakes, and often failure. But with a solid plan in place, you have a roadmap to guide you through challenges and towards success. Remember, preparation is the key to turning your farming dreams into reality. Another most critical mistakes that many beginners make is starting without adequate knowledge. This lack of preparation often leads to costly errors, frustration, and even failure. Many beginner farmers assume that poultry farming is simple. Buy some birds, feed them, and sell eggs or meat. But this oversimplification ignores the complexities of raising healthy birds, managing resources, and navigating challenges like diseases, market fluctuations, and operational costs. Without sufficient knowledge, farmers are essentially setting themselves up for failure. For example, a beginner who doesn't understand poultry breeds might choose one that isn't suited to their climate or farming goals. Some breeds perform better in cooler regions, while others thrive in warmer climates. Selecting the wrong breed can result in poor growth, low productivity, and wasted resources. Another area where knowledge is essential is disease management. Poultry farming involves numerous health risks, and diseases can spread rapidly if not managed properly. A farmer unfamiliar with vaccination schedules, hygiene practices, or biosecurity measures might lose an entire flock to preventable illnesses. Feeding is another critical factor. Providing the wrong type or amount of feed can stunt growth, reduce egg production, or even harm the birds. Without an understanding of nutritional requirements, beginners often overfeed, underfeed, or use low-quality feed, leading to financial losses. So, how do we address this issue? The solution solution lies in preparation and continuous learning. Before starting a poultry farm, aspiring farmers should invest time in gaining knowledge. This can be done by attending training programs, seeking advice from experienced farmers, taking short courses in poultry farming, or even watching YouTube videos from channels that educate poultry farmers, like this channel, which offers free education about poultry keeping. And if you are interested in poultry, you only need to subscribe and turn on notification bell so that you don't miss any new video. Reading and research are also essential. There is a wealth of information available in books, online articles, and videos that cover everything from breed selection to disease management. Farmers should familiarize themselves with topics like housing design, feeding schedules, and market demands before making any investments. Visiting established poultry farms can also be incredibly helpful. Observing successful operations and asking questions allows beginners to learn practical techniques and avoid common pitfalls. Moreover, establishing a relationship with a qualified veterinarian or an experienced poultry farmer is crucial. They can provide guidance on vaccination schedules, disease prevention, and flock health management. This support is invaluable, especially for beginners who may not recognize early signs of illness in their birds. Farmers must understand that learning doesn't stop once the farm is operational. Poultry farming is a dynamic field with new technologies, techniques, and challenges emerging regularly. Staying informed and adapting to changes will help ensure long-term success. Another most common mistake that beginner poultry farmers make is overcrowding their birds. This may seem like a way to maximize production or profits, but in reality, it often leads to disastrous consequences for both the birds and the farmer's business. Overcrowding occurs when too many birds are kept in a space that is too small to accommodate them comfortably. Beginners might do this to save on costs for housing, or simply because they underestimate the importance of space in poultry farming. However, the results of overcrowding can be devastating. When birds are overcrowded, the environment becomes stressful. Chickens are social animals, but they require adequate space to move, rest, and perform natural behaviors like perching, scratching, or dust bathing. Without enough space, the birds become aggressive. This often leads to pecking, injuries, and in severe cases, cannibalism within the flock. Another major issue caused by overcrowding is the rapid spread of diseases. In cramped spaces, pathogens can multiply quickly, and with birds in such closeness, infections spread from one to another like wildfire. Even a minor health issue can escalate into a full-blown outbreak, leading to high mortality rates and significant financial losses. Overcrowding conditions also result in poor ventilation. This leads to an accumulation of ammonia from bird droppings, creating an unhealthy environment that can cause respiratory issues and reduce overall productivity. Birds exposed to such conditions grow more slowly, lay fewer eggs, and are generally less healthy. So, what is the solution? The answer lies in proper planning and adherence to recommended stocking densities. For instance, in broilers, 1 square meter can accommodate around 8 to 10 birds, and in layers, 1 square meter of floor space can accommodate between 6 to 8 birds depending on the location. Before acquiring your flock, it is crucial to build or secure a poultry house that meets these requirements. Plan the space based on the number of birds you intend to raise and their growth stages. Always prioritize the welfare of the birds over the quantity you can fit into the space. Proper ventilation is also essential. A well-ventilated poultry house ensures that fresh air circulates, ammonia levels are kept low, and the birds remain comfortable. Adequate ventilation reduces the risk of respiratory problems and helps maintain healthy growth rates. Additionally, monitor your flock closely as it grows. If the birds begin to appear crowded, consider reducing the flock size or expanding the housing. Remember, it is better to have fewer birds that are healthy and productive than a large number of birds suffering in poor conditions. Another critical mistake is failing to keep proper records. At first glance, record keeping might seem unnecessary, especially on a small farm. However, overlooking this essential aspect of farm management often leads to confusion, inefficiency, and financial losses. Poultry farming, like any other business, involves multiple processes and expenses. Without records, a farmer cannot accurately track how much they are spending on feed, medications, utilities, or labor. This lack of data makes it nearly impossible to calculate whether the farm is profitable or operating at a loss. Consider a situation where a farmer experiences high bird mortality rates. Without proper records, it becomes difficult to pinpoint the cause. Was it poor feed quality, an undetected disease outbreak, or perhaps a management issue like overcrowding? Record keeping would have provided provided clues to help identify and address the problem early. Another issue is stock management. A farmer who does not track the amount of feed or medication on hand risks running out of supplies at critical moments. This can disrupt operations and negatively impact the health and productivity of the flock. Moreover, failing to keep sales records makes it challenging to understand market trends and plan for future growth. A farmer who doesn't track egg or meat production cannot determine which periods are most productive or which markets are most profitable. Now, how can this mistake be avoided? The solution is simple. Establish a record-keeping system from the very beginning. This doesn't need to be overly complex. Basic tools like a notebook, spreadsheet, or mobile app can do the work depending on the farmer's preference. Start by documenting all expenses, including feed, chicks, housing materials, labor, and veterinary costs. Keep track of income from egg or meat sales and note the quantities sold and the prices received. This will give you a clear picture of your farm's financial performance. In addition, maintain records related to flock health. Track vaccination dates, disease outbreaks, treatments administered, and mortality rates. This information is invaluable for identifying patterns and improving the overall health and productivity of your birds. Production records are equally important. Monitor how many eggs are laid or how much weight broilers gain over time. This helps you evaluate whether your flock is performing as expected and whether changes to feed or management practices are needed. For larger operations, investing in farm management software can simplify record keeping and provide detailed insights. However, even small-scale farmers can benefit immensely from a basic system that tracks essential data. As we proceed, please hit the thumb up icon. The next one is relying solely on antibiotics to manage the health of their birds. While antibiotics can be helpful in certain situations, overusing them or depending on them as a catch-all solution is not only ineffective but also dangerous for the birds, the farmer's business, and even public health. When farmers rely solely on antibiotics, they may fail to address the root causes of health issues on their farms. For example, if birds are consistently getting sick, it could be due to poor hygiene, overcrowding, inadequate ventilation, or contaminated water. Administering antibiotics might temporarily suppress the symptoms, but the underlying problem will persist, leading to recurring illnesses and higher mortality rates. Furthermore, relying on antibiotics increases costs unnecessarily. Regular use of these medications adds to the operational expenses, which could have been avoided with proper management practices. Worse still, some farmers may unknowingly administer incorrect dosages, leading to further complications in bird health. So, what is the solution to this problem? The key lies in prevention rather than cure. The first step is to adopt strong biosecurity measures. This includes keeping the poultry house clean, disinfecting equipment regularly, and minimizing the risk of disease introduction by restricting visitors and ensuring proper sanitation. Another essential practice is maintaining optimal living conditions for the birds. Ensure that they have enough space, clean water, quality feed, and good ventilation. Stress is a major contributor to disease, so reducing overcrowding and maintaining a comfortable environment can significantly improve flock health. Vaccination is one of the most effective tools in poultry farming to prevent diseases and protect the health of your flock. Yet, one of the common mistakes beginner poultry farmers make is failing to vaccinate their birds on time. This oversight can have devastating consequences for both the birds and the farmer's business. Vaccines are designed to protect poultry from various infectious diseases, some of which can spread rapidly and cause high mortality rates. However, for vaccines to be effective, they must be administered at the right time following a proper schedule. Unfortunately, many beginners either skip vaccinations entirely or administer them too late, often because they underestimate their importance or lack the necessary knowledge. The consequences of this mistake can be severe. Diseases like Newcastle disease, infectious bursal disease, and Marek's disease are highly contagious and can wipe out a significant portion of a flock within days. Even if the birds survive, they may suffer from reduced productivity, such as lower egg production or slower growth rates, which directly impacts profitability. Failing to vaccinate on time also increases the risk of disease outbreaks that are costly to control. Treating sick birds often requires expensive medications and additional labor, and there's no guarantee of recovery. Worse still, disease outbreaks can damage the reputation of the farm, making it harder to find buyers for the products. So, how can this mistake be avoided? The solution lies in proper planning and consistent implementation of a vaccination program. First, every farmer should consult with a qualified veterinarian or poultry health expert to develop a vaccination schedule tailored to their flock. Different diseases require vaccination at specific stages of the bird's development, so it's essential to know the correct timing for each vaccine. Second, ensure that vaccines are stored and handled properly. Most vaccines are sensitive to temperature and must be kept in cold storage to remain effective. Improper handling can render them useless even if administered on time. Third, make it a habit to mark vaccination dates on a calendar or use farm management software to set reminders. This ensures you never miss a scheduled vaccination even during busy periods. Fourth, educate yourself and your team on the proper techniques for administering vaccines. Some vaccines are given through drinking water, while others require injections or eye drops. Following the correct method is crucial for the vaccine to work effectively. In conclusion, failing to vaccinate on time is a mistake that can be easily avoided with proper planning, organization, and commitment. Vaccination is an investment in the health and productivity of your birds, and timely administration ensures that your flock is protected against the most common and devastating diseases. By prioritizing vaccinations, you not only safeguard your birds, but also secure the long-term success and sustainability of your poultry farming business. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.